Welcome to my Conscious Podcast. I'm Jessika Klingspor, and this is a podcast where we dive into our inner worlds and the incredible skills hidden inside us. It is a space for honest and meaningful conversations where our guests share their stories and insights from their life experiences and journeys of self-discovery. In this episode, you will meet Claudia Romera, who will share valuable insights from both her personal and professional story. From being former marketing director of the world-famous Football Club Barcelona to inner shifts when she was forced to do a full stop in her career and life. Another unexpected ingredient is that she is also a psychological astrologist. Find out how she is using that in her work with clients and their personal branding. Stay tuned and thank you for listening to my Conscious Podcast. Welcome to my Conscious Podcast, where we dive deep into our inner worlds and share stories from our self-discovery journeys. And today I have a really powerhouse of a woman on the podcast, Claudia Romera. And she holds a degree in advertising and PR from the faculty CCII in University of Barcelona. And she boasts of over 30 years of experience in branding, communication, marketing, advertising, CSR, and PR. She is an expert in designing strategic brand positioning, both corporate and personal at the highest level. Additionally, she serves as a university professor and lecturer. She is the former director of marketing, branding, and PR for the Football Club Barcelona, the very world-famous one. She was in charge of the expansion of the Barca brand worldwide, which also gave her the opportunity to work with the elite athletes in the development of their personal branding as a way to reinforce the club's positioning. Today, she is currently founder and CEO of the Value Boosting Company, a new concept of boutique consultancy specializing in the development of branding strategies to improve business results and create positive social impact, an activity that she also combines with her passion for teaching, which she does on a regular basis in different business schools in Barcelona. So I'm so thrilled to have this fantastic woman here today, and I'm so much looking forward to have a conscious conversation with you. Welcome. How do you feel today? How are your energy levels, 1 to 10, Claudia?
I would say 9.5, because 10
wow.
is a pretty good. Thank you.
Well, I feel I meet you there. 9.5, I would say as well.
Yeah.
So I just love it when, you meet people in the flows of life. If you keep intention is a magnetic frequency. So when you stay tuned to your intention, you attract the right clients, the right people, and the right guests to a podcast, like in this case.
And the right host as well.
Yeah. So I met you pretty recently listening to one of your keynotes in EU Business School. And that was a really lovely experience with you there and all the students, very alert. And there was one slide that really talked to me because, radical honesty leads to positive behavior building. And there was this slide saying, truth is sexy.
Yeah.
And that stayed with me because I'm very much for this self-honesty and stuff. So could you elaborate on what that means for you? Truth is sexy.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit, let's say, peculiar to say that when we are talking about marketing and branding and advertising, because I don't know why when we decide to, professionals, when we decide to earn our living with this kind of activities, then we know for sure that we earn a special place in hell, because we have to lie. And I have been hearing that, listening to that for my whole career. But the older I become, the more clear I see that to lie is a short-term run. Because at the end of the day, we are who we are. And when I say we, I mean people, but also brands. Because at the end of the day, branding is to build a personality for a brand. We try to build the brand as much similar as possible as a person, because we want to give it personality, because we want to create relationship with the clients of this brand. So it works exactly the same for corporate than for personal branding. And so if a brand, corporate or personal, lies as a normal basis, this is not going to work in the long term. And I like to work with my clients in a long term basis. So we don't have to lie. I mean, it's very easy to understand. If you lie, you go short. I want to go long, so don't lie. And that doesn't mean to be, I mean, what I always say, because when I say that to my clients are something like, oops. So like, oops. So I
because
have to
it means
say,
that you have to go deeper with them. They have to go
exactly.
deeper with themselves.
Of course, I do. I go really deep, because if they don't know themselves, it is very difficult that they know how to explain themselves to the world. If you don't know yourself, if you are not conscious
So
about who you
it's a
are,
pretty challenging
I know,
journey to be your client then.
I know, but it's worth it, you know.
But it's working. It is,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm saying it with a little like smiling,
I
because
know
I
it's
mean
worth it.
it's what they really at the end of the day, it's what they want,
Yeah,
that their brand
exactly.
should work, and they have to align with the brand and the
Ex-
values of the brand. And that is
exactly.
why
They have
your
to be
company
correct.
is called value boosting, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Because what I do is to increase, to boost the value. It's not about anything not talking about price or money or whatever. I'm talking about value. And every single person, exactly as every single brand, has a unique value proposition to give to the market.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But you always have a unique value uh, that you can share with your clients, you know. And that is what I do with my clients, to try to find what it is, to articulate it in a comprehensive way, make it a little bit sexy, and then go to the market and stay there, because it is not so. I mean, the most difficult part of my job is to run the brand during the time, you know, I mean, along the time, because of course and that's why coherence and that the brand, as you say, is aligned with your values, because other way around is not working.
No, there are no shortcuts.
No, there are no shortcuts. Exactly the same as there are no shortcuts to know yourself, you know.
No, exactly.
Growing, yeah.
So was this a little bit also what you were practicing in Barca, in FC Barca, to really work on a deeper level with the brand and the football players, because you were also doing their personal branding?
Yeah, but I was not doing the personal branding for their personal businesses, you know. I mean, I was working
for the
how the value proposition of each player could help the Barca brand to go bigger, you know, because at the end it's a team. It's a team. I mean, it's a brand, but it's a team. Is the coach, are the players, is the board of directors, are the fans. Everything makes Barca so big as it is, as big as it is. You know, it's not only one thing. So there
But
is.
when you think of a football team, it's also natural to think that they have coaching. They have a coach in the sport. But how was it to work in the management of Barca? Did you also have coaching there?
No, not unfortunately. But it's a little bit difficult, because you have to. I mean, one of the most difficult things in Barca's reality is that you have to. It's complex to explain. It's like you have to run a multinational company with the rules of a family company. You know what I mean? Because there is no Mr. Barca. Then there is no a physical owner. I mean, the Barca is not from Mr. Barca that wants to change the car this year, so you have to make profit. No, it's the owners of the club are the members. So
Yes.
they vote every 4-6 years. They vote and they choose the president. It's the most similar thing as to work in politics, because it's so it's difficult to bring together the interest of the members that once only they are only interested in football players winning, especially to Real Madrid, so winning and everything, with the needs of a very big, huge worldwide brand with a lot of interest worldwide, commercial interest and money and turnover and budgeting and all these kind of things, because just to provide enough money to have the best players and then to win, especially Real Madrid, so it's a very difficult, it's a peculiar, let's say it's peculiar, very stressful as well, but very interesting.
Yeah, I was wanted to ask you, what was the biggest challenge for you to work with this team and the management? It's also a very man's dominated work.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's a real.
And you as a woman, how were you received?
Well, actually, I never had the feeling that because I was a woman I was less, or I was no, I didn't have this feeling really. It is actually that's truth. But it's the most challenging thing for me was to accept that whatever you do, somebody will judge you. Whatever you do, nobody will agree 100%. Never. Everybody, the press, and also nobody will agree that you do 100% right. Somebody will say, she could have done better. I mean, not you personally, but the marketing department should have done blah, 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 blah. And if you do white, then somebody will say for sure why you didn't do black. And if you do black, why you didn't do white. I mean, for me, it was the most challenging thing to accept that personally. I mean, for me, in terms of, me, Claudia, to accept that I will not fulfill everybody's expectations. And that for me was a little bit huge learning, which I'm grateful, by the way.
But you were also there during very key years that you took the brand up to a level which was like, that was a before and after you were marketing manager.
Actually, to be 100% honest, it was the huge takeoff of the brand was during the first Laporta's years. That is to be true. I mean, he was the one who was changing the way that the club was seeing the brand. Starting for the T-shirt, I mean, he was the first one that was for me was absolutely clever, a clever idea. That he was the first one to put a brand in the T-shirt, UNICEF. That was the first. Okay. I mean, no president before, never the Barca had a brand in the T-shirt before, a sponsor in the T-shirt before.
So that was also revolutionizing.
Yeah, it was a very revolutionary idea and for me it was very clever. I mean, putting in the shirt not a commercial brand, but do what we call a reverse sponsorship, because we were paying UNICEF to have the brand in the T-shirt. So it was the first step to go then to the normal business development of sponsorship with the T-shirt, which brings a lot of money to the clubs in general.
And also you developed the museum of Barca, no?
Yeah. We were what we call the Barca experience. That was a tour through the museum, and then the Camp Nou, the inside of the Camp Nou, visiting the restrooms and everything, and then ending in the megastore, the Barca megastore, of course.
Because it became an amazing, with the press conference rooms, and it became really an experience. And I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, more visitors in Barca Museum than in Sagrada Familia.
I know.
I think it's 2 million a year or something.
It's crazy. It's because Barca is, I mean, wherever
It's like
you
a
go in the
religion.
world, wherever you go in the world, everybody knows Barca. And a lot, some kids are wearing an old model of the Barca T-shirt, but they are wearing. I mean, they know the brand and they love it, and that was
Yes.
part of
And
the positioning of the brand.
and they also have this slogan, Mes Club,
Mes
that is
Club,
more
more
than a
than
club.
yeah, and that means a lot of things because it comes in the culture, Catalan culture, and politics, and in the way that Barca does things, which is different from other teams, and
So
it's
it's
a
something
good
to be
slogan.
really
It's not
proud of.
mine, eh?
No, I know it's been there, but I mean, it's also a legacy to work with, to
I know.
continue to
Yeah,
develop what you did,
yeah,
to keep evolving Mes Club.
yeah.
And
Well, yeah,
so,
no, it was a
hats off.
very interesting years. A lot of work. You cannot
I can
believe how.
imagine there was a lot of stress levels.
Oh yeah, and it's 24/7,
Yeah,
24/7.
no, I think we have all been walking that journey. I mean, we have a little
Yeah,
similar moments in our careers when there was a full stop. There was a full stop in your career too.
yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Well, actually, in October 2009, when I got after a few months of getting my first real important position as a marketing and communication director of Club Natación Sabadell, which is the Barça of swimming clubs
Okay.
in Spain and in Europe. A few months after that, I fell from a horse. I was riding and broke my back. And
My God.
so I had to, it took me 4 years to recover, and
4 years.
especially the 4 years, especially the first year was terrible, terrible, because I had to learn everything again. So to walk, to sit down, to lay on bed, and to stand up from bed, and go to the toilet, which is, I mean, imagine, you can imagine
Yeah,
that.
no, I can
Yeah,
imagine. And you were laying still for 6 months, no?
yeah,
That you couldn't really move even.
yeah,
I'm,
It
I'm
was
so
a hard
curious, what
time.
was going on inside you during those 10 months?
Well, my
Did
first,
you
I think
discover something that you didn't
oh
have
yeah,
time to discover before?
yeah, sure. I mean, you cannot go through this experience without learning anything. And my insight, I mean, I think I was going through all the steps of grieving, because I was, first of all, I was angry with life. Why me?
Yeah, no,
Complaining
obviously. Yeah.
everything, and then very scared because I didn't know if I was going to be able to walk again and to recover my normal life again. And but then one my roommate at the hospital told me one thing. She was from Croatia, I think, Serbia or Croatia, I don't know, Croatia, I think. And she one night I was crying, and then she asked me what happened. And I said I cannot understand why this happened to me. And then she told me, you don't have to ask yourself why. This is the wrong question. The right question is what for? And then I was something like,
Okay.
wow. So, and then after, I mean, you
You
have a lot of
started to
time to
think in a
think.
new
Yeah.
direction.
Look into the ceiling, you have a lot of time to think.
Oh,
And,
yes.
um,
And it's
and then
easy to fall back into that victim.
of course,
Why?
why me? Why
It's
me?
human. We are humans as well.
And,
But it's to go from the victim to the hero, and you did that.
exactly. And so then what I learned was to, first of all, acceptance.
Mm.
You cannot change it. The only thing you can do is accept it, and let's see what you can learn from that.
Yeah.
So what I learned, I learned to, that was a humility healing, express and premium.
Very premium.
Really premium, VIP treatment. Thank you,
Yes.
universe. And then I learned two things. The first thing I learned is that nobody is an island. You know,
No.
we need people. When
Yes.
I was used to saying that I was raised by a mother that teach me every time that you don't have to depend on anybody. You have to be free. You have to be independent. You have to earn your own money. You have to blah 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 blah. My mother comes from another generation, a generation
Yes.
in Spain that was raised to be a housewife, mother, and that's it. Okay, in the
Okay.
90% of the cases. So she wanted me to have a different life. So that was the lesson. And I was very independent. I was really earning my life fantastically well. And I mean, it was so going inside, outside, blah, 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 needing nobody.
Yeah.
And then I realized that that was bullshit, if I can tell it in the podcast. Because at the
Yes,
end of
of
the day,
course.
okay, that was bullshit. Because
Yeah.
I was lying on a bed, and I could do nothing at all if my mother or my husband was coming and taking me from bed, bring me to the toilet, or bring me to a chair, or feed me. I mean, nothing. I could do nothing by myself. So that was a real humility lesson, and
Wow. Yeah.
and to
To
understand that
completely surrender.
absolutely. You have no other, I mean, you can do nothing else, Jessica. I mean, you have to
No.
accept it. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you
but
may,
it's also like when you sit with that and you feel it instead of resisting it, because
then
that
it
you
goes
can.
easier. Yeah.
It's worse. You can create even worse pain and suffering.
Yeah. Because at
Many
the end
people
of the
do that
day,
without knowing it, unconsciously.
yeah, it is. I mean, it is not
So
easy for the people around you neither.
no.
I mean, no for my
Yeah,
mom,
because
no for my husband, see me like that. I mean, it was not easy for them. If I could have made it worse for them being
mm,
depressed and playing the victim and blah blah. So why? It took me a while. I mean, it was not so that I saw the
it's not
light.
over one night.
No, no, no. I mean, it took me. I've cried a lot about that,
Yes.
and but also,
But
I mean, to touch in that deep way your vulnerability is
mm,
so rich for your personal growth
oh
because you
God, yes.
feel so vulnerable. Is that is the word? I mean, you feel so useless for anything, and
Yeah.
that then you have no. I mean, when you touch the bottom, the only way is up.
Is
So
that, yeah.
yeah, that's it. That was one
But
of
you were on that bottom for very long, physically.
physically. Yeah, 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 yeah. But every day was something. I mean, then you also learn to enjoy small things, small victories that otherwise you
Yes.
don't pay attention to. For instance, the first
Yeah.
time I could stand alone from a chair, it was like party, 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 party. You know, it was
Yeah.
wow. It was
The
I
things
don't
that
know.
we just take for granted
Yeah, things
normally.
that or walk or
Mm.
go outside without fear that somebody comes and gives you something with the shoulder, you know, and hits you, and then because there was a lot of pain. I mean, it was not
Oh God,
only
I can
the
imagine.
process was painful, physically speaking,
But
and
can you hold that feeling of gratitude with you through life
yeah,
since then? Do you
yeah,
remind yourself
yeah,
every day, like, wow, I'm still here walking?
yeah. When I see my scar, the scar on my back, and in the beginning I couldn't look at it. I felt that that was horrible and it was a scar and I don't like it, and that now I when I look at it I feel so grateful because it
Yeah,
is
me
not
too. I
something.
mean,
It's not something that
also
I get that I
scars.
see so often because it's in my back, of course. But sometimes I don't know. I'm in the bed and then I look and then I say, "Oh, what a
But
different person would I
you know that
be?"
I got this. I was operated in my stomach for the cancer, and I have a big scar there. And I fell in love with my scar because I thought that scars only grows on people that survived.
Yeah.
And that is like also a reminder from also when a lot of suffering ended.
Yeah.
When, like it's so much metaphor. So
Yeah. I don't know if you have the feeling, but when I look to my scar, most of the times what I think is, what a different person would I be without
it.
that experience? Yeah. And I think, I mean, you never say never because you never know. But I'm not so sure I would like the person I would have become without that. I'm not so sure. No, because I don't know, I was so focused on
External
work
things.
and external things that no, I think I would have lost myself. So I have to be grateful to that experience.
It is a tough way to awakening.
Yeah,
but it's
now
worth it on the other side.
when I ask for something to the universe, when I make a wish, I always say, and by the way, give it sweet, please.
Yeah, be smooth and suave.
Please, suave, suave.
But
Yeah.
so I guess, well, this experience in personal life and in work life has been an upgrade with all the
Sure,
insights.
absolutely agree. Absolutely.
And I
But
think you can use it a lot in your work
oh
or
yeah,
with branding,
yeah,
with
because
values and stuff.
to know yourself, that is what I always say to my clients, especially in personal branding, because in corporate branding is easier because you are talking about a thing, giving personality, but at the end of the day, it's a thing. And
Yes.
but when you go deep into the analysis for the personal branding, what I always say to my clients is, listen, nobody's perfect, nobody. So that means that we live in a world of polarity. That means if you are very, 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 very bright, if you have a lot of light in something, there is the same amount of shadow in another thing. It is physical. I mean, these are physics. So don't be scared to look at the shadow because it's a part of you. I mean, it's all.
So
It's
exactly,
also
without the shadow, there cannot be light. No,
no.
we cannot only have that. We have to do the 360.
Exactly. And the only thing is we have to know where this shadow is. Just that
Yes,
it doesn't come
and also
out
dare
in the
to look
worst
at it and
moment,
be
like
with it.
technology.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But to actually go really deep inside us to understand things and sit with our emotions.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking also the other day that there are so many people that are like emotional avoidance, and they think they have and they call it a positive mindset.
Yeah, I call it escapism.
That is the truth, but themselves, with whether they know it or not, they call it positive mindset, but they don't want to face problems or shadows and work with these sides.
Yeah, I know. I like positive people. I mean,
Me too.
it's not. I think I am a positive person. Always, I prefer to look on the bright side of life. But and it took me also a while because to understand what I'm going to tell you now. But I think that it's a great lesson that when you start in the process of, whatever you do to grow yourself, internally, your personal growth, there is something that nobody tells you is that there are not good emotions or bad emotions. There is not such a thing. There are, for my opinion, there are pleasant emotions and unpleasant emotions, but all of them are good for you because they show you something. Is the way that your soul or your whatever, your inner self can recognize what is good for you and what is not. If I'm talking to you and I get angry, you touch a button. The other people are only I say what I call the other people. The only thing they do with you is touch light buttons. Buttons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
And
mean,
you can
you are
choose to
somebody.
react or respond to them.
Somebody say, "Oh, a green light, a green button," and then you I mean, it's nothing. Has nothing to do with the other person.
No,
Is your
that
thing, and that is what you have to. But and then for me, this is the mistake of the positive thinking: is that once you understand that, then you say, "Oh, then there is no problem because I don't have to be angry because he's learning." No. Again, bullshit. You have the right to be angry. You have you must be angry because you have to go through the emotion. Otherwise,
yes,
you cut it. And when you cut it, I mean, emotions are energy. If you cut the energy, it will come
it
out from
blocks.
and it will come out sooner or later in another way. And usually
Yeah,
not
and
in
I
a
believe
nice
that
one.
is also how we can create the illnesses sometimes by blocking these
Uh,
emotions.
Sometimes I think always.
Yeah, no, and ignoring the signals from the body. But it's interesting you say this about triggers, that
Yeah,
people sometimes can trigger you, and it's actually not to do with that person. It has to do with
nothing at all.
myself, and the bigger portals are behind the triggers.
Absolutely. But it is okay. I mean, this person is with you and is the trigger for you to discover something about yourself. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I see them
But
as
you
divine
have the right to
divine
be angry.
messengers.
Yeah, but
Yes.
you have the right to be angry with the messenger, because
Absolutely, because
it's
it's
like,
maybe it's not nice the way they treat the other
exactly,
person.
exactly. I mean,
And
you take the learning, thank you,
yeah.
but you are a son of a bitch because you didn't did it. You did it very wrong. You were very rude, or you were not nice with me, and that's
Yes,
it.
it doesn't mean
And
that
I
you
take the lesson.
accept.
I
Yeah.
accept the lesson. Thank you, but
Yeah.
no more. Thank you.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Another thing that I know that you mix with your professional, the branding, it is that you have introduced astrology
Oh, the
and
psychological astrology. Yeah.
psychological astrology.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
tell us about that a little more? I'm super curious for that.
Yeah. I 10 years ago, after all this process and everything, I decided to go deeper in knowing myself. So I started a psychological process, and then I was in therapy, and then I was because I knew that I took the accident out of my body, but I
Mm.
wanted also to take it out of my soul. Because
Yes.
at the end it's a trauma in all the senses, physically and emotionally. So I started in the process and blah blah. And I was listening I found, I don't know, because I think the big brother is listening. And then
Yeah.
I don't know why. And then I started to, the algorithm was launching some videos from a lady, which she's called Mia Astral. She's from Venezuela, and she's living in Miami, and
Mm-hmm.
she's pretty and very stylish. And then she was talking about astrology in a very fancy way, and then I thought, wow, this is a very I mean, I was very curious in all my life about all these strange things and blah blah. And then but I always thought that they were very how to say, kitsch,
Yes.
that with all this image of, with all the respect,
Can
but
be.
yeah, from the
Yes.
universe and few, and
Yeah.
I'm
Too
not in
much
that.
woo woo.
That too much. And so I don't feel like this kind of thing. So I was not so into it. But then I found this lady, and then I thought, wow, this is another thing. I mean, this is stylish, and what she says is so. I mean, it makes so much sense what she says. Let's let's see. So I
Explore.
started. I was looking. I want to study astrology. Let's see what it is. And then I
Yeah.
make a research, and then I found a very nice school in Barcelona, which is called Cosmograma.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
because, of
about that.
course, I didn't want to learn from few, I want
No.
something serious.
Yes.
And then I found this school, and then I was absolutely convinced when I saw that they were giving lessons in the Psychology University of Barcelona about astrological psychology. So I thought, oh, then I went there. So I graduated there after 3 years. Then I make some post degrees and masters and whatever, because I think it's very interesting. And what it's interesting for me is that psychological astrology, what does is not to look forward what is going to happen and tell you that you will
No,
find.
not like a fortune teller
No,
thing.
no, 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 not
No.
at all. It talks about uh, available energy. That's it. Then you decide what you want to do with it. I mean, this is the energy. You
And
you
we
can
and we are
take it or
energy.
leave it. So it's
Yes.
up to you. And we have free will and so on. And
Yeah.
also was, I mean, the birth chart is a kind of psychological picture of your of the energy you bring to this earth, you know. So that means that all the planets are archetypes, psychological archetypes, and then you know that the sun is the psychological organizer and the moon is the place in your memory where you always go back when you need to feel comfortable, and the unconscious
Yeah.
position.
So I
Or
didn't know that they
Mercury
had
has to do,
archetypes.
yeah, with the communication, and Venus with the pleasure, and Mars with the way you act or
Yeah.
the way you get angry. I mean, all these kind of things. And then when you start, then you realize, when you study it, then you realize that, first of all, there is never ending science, you know. I mean, you can go deep and deep, but deeper in such a level to
Yes.
know yourself, of deep knowledge of the yourself and
Yes.
the I mean, it's so interesting when you don't know somebody and then you see the chart and say, oh, what happened? And then you feel like this. When this happens, you act like that, and then they are looking at you. "Oh, what about your father? How is it going with your father?" And then they are something like, it's like feeling like, oops, oops, oops. No, you feel naked because it works.
Yes.
It works, and it's nothing. I don't know the word in English. Esoterico. It's
No,
nothing magical.
esoteric.
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 It's not esoteric at all. It's a
No.
language. It's a code. It's like to see kanjis, you know, when you don't know Chinese or Japanese and you see a kanji, it means Chinese to you, you know.
Yes.
But
But
if you
there
know that
so
this kanji means table, you see it, oh, table, you know, it's exactly the same. It's a language. That's
so
it.
you actually just use this with your
Oh, yeah, sure.
clients when you take
Yeah,
like, for them to find their really true essence,
yeah. It's very
re-
helpful.
authenticity.
Yeah, because if I think that you must go into I'm proposing you to do with some kind of things in terms of communication or public exposure, and you are somebody who is really shy or has a kind of let's say feeling of not deserving, or this uh, how is that called? El síndrome del impostor. You know what it is?
Imposter syndrome. Yes.
Impostor syndrome. It will not work what I'm telling you to do. I mean, I know you have to do that, but you will not able to do it. So I have to find a way that you expose yourself feeling safe. And for me,
Yeah.
astrology is a really, really, really useful and powerful tool to get there.
But
No.
it's the I'm super interested in it myself, and but I never heard of anyone that has integrated it with the in the corporate space like this.
Yeah. It's not that you can tell it very openly. I mean, I
No.
don't care because I'm very proud of who I am and what I know. So I don't care. And I tell my clients, I would like to know your date,
Yes.
hour, and place of birth, because I want to see your birth chart, because I am a psychological astrologist and I will take a look. And then they look at me something like, oh my God.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
I
I
say,
can
no, don't worry.
imagine.
It's only for me, for my use. Don't worry. I know. But always they ask, and what about my chart?
Yes. And then
Oh,
you
you want to
find out
know?
that it's what they really want to talk about. and to find out more about.
Yeah. And it works.
And then if it's
really
actually also working, I mean, I think also this it's about to translate all these woo-woo things into a corporate language and take out the science-based pieces, no? And because all
exactly.
these valuable ancient wisdoms they were practiced in the ancient times, and then in these modern times, if it is not,
Yeah.
you know,
Where
leveled into
science.
our world,
Yeah.
they think nonsense.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that more and more scientists go deeper in to do research on everything from neuroscience to,
Yeah.
the atoms and our energy and
Yeah. And quantum
vibration.
physics and how
Yes,
it
the
works
quantum
with.
physics is
Yeah.
like will
It's oh my
revolutionize, and
God.
what actually they can prove what meditation actually does if you do it constantly, and you can
Yeah.
connect to the
Exactly.
akashic records and the quantum field, because there is
Exactly.
a lot of information there.
A lot of information there. A lot of information, and you
But
have
you
to be in.
have to slow down in order to be able to reach
Yeah.
these,
Yeah.
get in
Otherwise,
touch
if
with
you are
this.
in the, if
If
you
you're
are
in the
going.
fast run, and that is why it's so tricky, I think, now living in a city, that I've lived in cities all my life. I have the urge of going out more in nature. I need nature because that is life. Here
That's
in the
what I did.
cement. Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
did.
you did.
What 2 years before the pandemic? Oh, thank God, because I was in the middle of Barcelona, and then I had the feeling that I had the same feeling as you now. It's too busy here, and it's not because of the rhythm of the city itself. It's
That's the
busy in terms
density.
energetically speaking. It's very heavy. You
It's so
feel it.
dense.
Yeah,
Mm.
density. It's so I need a little bit lighter. And then I came outside. I live in Aleya in a wine village
Area. Yeah.
area, and yeah, I'm very happy here. And then the pandemic came, and then I was so grateful. I said, "Oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you."
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know,
Because
living in Barcelona. Yeah, because I had a very nice apartment there, but there was only a very small balcony, So
yeah.
imagine there for 3 months only in the
No, but
balcony.
even if I have a big balcony and can go out, it's still not a place where I feel recharged
Yeah,
after a while. I have to
yeah.
go out.
I
And
know.
this,
But it's not the
yeah.
same to go out and then to see green, what I see, than to go
No,
out and
and
see
also,
street and traffic lights.
no, exactly, or go to Parque Ciutadella.
Uh,
It's not where I can feel any
no, no, no.
recharging, or even down on the Barceloneta beach. I don't feel,
No,
because also we were talking about that, and that it's not a
it's
natural
not a
beach
real
either.
beach. No,
It's an artificial beach.
and you feel
So
it.
I don't really connect
Yeah,
in the same way in other beaches. You go outside Barcelona and you feel like you're in nature.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. So I
it's,
recommend you, if you can,
yes,
do it because
I
it's,
have
it's
to
worth
do
it.
a little site inspection in Aleya. I have other friends who lives there as well. I haven't
You are
seen
more
how
than
it is.
welcome to come, and I bring you to
Yes,
the
I will.
very nice places just to sell it to you.
Yeah. So what is in the pipeline for you right now? What projects are you working on? And
Well, I'm now working on. I mean, I'm carry on with the branding and everything, and also with the schools and teaching, which is I love to be in contact with young people. That is brings me
that's really
life.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
And
love
also the
the way.
younger generations, they have such a demand on personal development.
Yeah, and also the way they approach things is so different. It's so
Mm.
different, and I'm and the way they work with their creativity. I mean, it's. I was just finishing a course of the marketing plan is called, for a master in communication and branding in the European Institute of Design, an Italian school, business school, and I mean, they have to make a part of a marketing plan because otherwise they have no time to do this full. But they do. I always ask them to do the promotion because, of course, the promotion is the nicest thing to do.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm always so impressed about their creativity. It's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was their age, I was not the half of the half ready to do the things they do now. It's impressive. I mean, it's so I want to keep on doing my classes and everything. And
Yes, I can imagine.
I am the most. I have two big projects in my mind already in the pipeline. Going to, I hope, to see the light this year. The one is related to astrology. I want to,
All right.
yeah, I want to start with some people astrology consultancy business, but in a very, very, very practical way. I don't want at all this kind of uh, complete birth chart reading. No, I want something. It's like an astrological coaching. You know how you can,
Okay.
how the
Through the stars.
situation and the stars can help you to understand what is happening to you, and which is the energy you have now available to go through what you are going. I mean, with the feeling you are having now. Very practical focus approach. You know, and I think that they are also going through a lot of changes because of what in my generation and the generations before were
Yeah.
understanding what a men should be, and now we women are demanding another type of reality from men in all sense,
Absolutely.
in work and everywhere. So they are really,
Yes,
I
and
think they are really lost. I mean, they are not going through an easy time at
no,
all.
because it's been the old paradigm was so dominated by the masculine energy, and
Yeah,
all the studies and everything research was done in that masculine energy. And
yeah,
now we are leaving that behind into a more feminine energy
yeah, and we have to, and it's not
with the
the option.
connection rather than competition and
Yeah,
empathy, emotional
exactly.
intelligence.
More
That's more
consciousness
needed.
that
Yes.
instead of
And
fighting and ambition and all these kind of things that was ruling the let's call the wild capitalism that Marx was saying, and he was right. But
yes.
I think in this term, so I think it's a new way of doing business is here, and it's I mean it's not it's coming. No, like winter. No,
No, it's
it's here.
here.
It's here already.
A
So
new way to do business,
we all,
conscious business through your
yeah,
values
exactly.
and link
We were
purpose to your business.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you don't put purpose and positive impact in the middle of your business, no.
No,
And
I
making
think that
money
will
is not a purpose, you know. I mean, I
no.
don't believe that anybody wakes up in the morning and says, "Ugh, I want to earn $1 million today. Yes, let's do it." No, I mean, you work, you go to work to do something, whatever moves your heart, whatever it is. It's not for money.
Yes.
I mean, money is the
No.
consequence. It's not the goal.
And money is fuel, and that is a good energy to have because it leads to freedom. So
This,
in that
I
sense,
mean, we
money
live in
is
the
super
world we
important
live.
because that is the fuel for the purpose.
Yeah. The emotions against money and success for me is the same bad thing as the positive thinking, you know, is that money is bad. No, dear,
No.
no, no. So this idea that if you are spiritual, you have to starve. I mean, it's where that comes
No.
from. I mean, where where did that come from?
Why? Yeah, no,
I mean,
I don't know.
why? Right. It's something like no. If you want to succeed in business, you have to be cold and you have to be tough and you have to
But that
kill
is
or
also
be
another
you have to eat or be eaten. I mean,
no.
excuse me.
No,
Why?
no, not at all.
No,
Why?
that comes from the yeah. I mean, when we understand that, when we understand business from the positive impact and from the abundance, then
Yes.
everything is much easier, because then we don't have the, I mean, if we rule our business with the idea that this is a cake, if I want a bigger piece, I have to take it from you because this is a cake, then we have a problem. When we understand that there is abundance all over, and I don't need to take it from you to have a bigger piece, but only take it. I mean, not taking it from you. I mean, the
No,
way of doing business is absolutely different. It's more
totally different.
easygoing and
Create from abundance.
flowing. Yeah, and that's yeah. And this is also my second. I mean, not only the astrology, but my second project in the pipeline is, let's say, a platform, a hub, because
Yeah.
platform leads me too much to technology, and I don't want to. For entrepreneurs,
Yes.
just to help them to include all the emotional movement inside that you go through when you are starting your own business. I mean, it's
Yeah.
we want to help entrepreneurs to prepare themselves for making their
For the
business,
journey.
for the journey, not only to make them their business a success with knowledge, so marketing, digital marketing, legal things, bookkeeping,
No, the
whatever,
whole inner
but that it's okay.
abilities, the
That is for the
skills.
head, but we also want to go for the heart and knowing to how to teach them this, that what you are feeling now is called procrastination,
Yeah.
or self boycott, or bad relationship with success, or the imposter syndrome, to make them understand that they have the key to succeed in business. And that
Yes,
has
and
nothing
know
to
what
do
is
with
behind
market.
all this that you said just now, procrastinate. Where does it come from? For many people can be a survival mechanism that has been a behavior pattern since kids
Exactly.
because they had a tough something
Yeah,
and etc. So
exactly.
it's also to understand why themselves in their own journey, why do they have that? And when you identify these behaviors, it's when you can let go of them and choose something else.
Absolutely. 100% agree. But the business world
Can I
is
be
living.
part of your hub, Claudia?
Please, you are more than
Yes.
welcome. And in fact, you don't know, but you already are. You don't know it, but you already are part of my
Okay.
house.
So that sounds
Yeah.
fantastic. And I'm also happy that you and your business partner will come to my event in the Inner Development
Oh, looking
Schools
forward.
Business Hub, because that is also a project that I think that will really align with everything that you are doing already, and
Yeah, it's
to know it
when I
more
heard,
and what
yeah, yeah. When I heard about the way you approach business, and the way of, I mean, from the consciousness, I thought, oh, I believe I can fly, because
yeah.
it's absolutely what I think. Because at the end of it, yeah, it's we have been told so many times that, oh, don't take it personal, these are business, that we think that, I don't know, you, Jessica, somebody that comes to the office and takes peels off from who
The
you are,
layers.
and then you
Yeah.
become another person absolutely different, and then you go out, and then you put, and then you go, I mean, what is that life?
No, I don't like this thing, work life and life, because that
No,
means that
we
we
are one
park our
person.
lives during
Absolutely.
work, and
Absolutely. That's
I don't
why
see it like that either.
that's
So
why the slogan of my project is, there is no because there is nothing more personal than business, because it is absolutely so. It business touch you everything, the
yes,
money,
and you're also
the
talking about when there is
security
value, the price is not relevant.
is not relevant anymore.
No.
No, I don't like to
Wow,
talk about
Claudia,
money.
I feel very thrilled about. I mean, the future feels conscious,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
together, as I
yeah,
said here to Marcia, who was here the last time, that it's to find the others when you have come
yeah,
far in your own journey, but we can't do it alone. To find the
yeah.
others, to plug into the collective, and start to do the change. I'm so happy that I met you, Claudia.
Me
and
too. I'm very happy,
that you
really.
wanted to be
And
on
I
the
don't think
podcast.
this is. I don't think this is by chance.
Casuality? No,
No,
no. This is there is only synchronicities now.
synchronicity. Absolutely, absolutely. Because no, I love what you are doing and the idea of trying to help to build up a new generation of company rulers, more
Yeah,
conscious, more human.
more human, more heart driven. We have to go from
Absolutely.
heart to head, not from head to
No,
heart. Heart
positive,
first.
but not positive in terms of happy. No,
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 positive
not
in terms of
superficial.
really make a difference
Yes,
first in what they are and what they do, and what are we doing for the generations to come, because at the end of the day, it's our responsibility. I don't have children, but I feel responsible of the world I'm
I
living.
don't have children either, but I do feel, there is this 7 generations back that we bring into this world of traumas and everything.
Yeah,
But everything we do is affecting 7 generations in the future.
no
So, I
pressure.
mean, we have, yeah. But there is a light there. We are transmuting the darkness into light.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
thank you from the heart. And
Really
if you
welcome
have
from the
anything,
heart. It was,
fantastic. So, we just keep on going. See
yes,
you out
we will.
there. Yes.
Oh yeah, for
And bye
sure.
bye. And thank you, everyone, for listening. It's been a pleasure. And,
Bye.
and if you're in Barcelona, you're welcome to our event the 9th of April, because this episode will be coming out before that, in Impact Hub Barcelona, the IDG Barcelona Business Hub. So thank you very much. And I see you all soon.